So Laleh, can you say a few things about your background as it pertains to what we're all doing here today?
Well, I have an eclectic background. Um, in the context of what we're doing here, when I was doing my graduate work, I started collecting the wish lists of my students, and back then I was in academia, uh, uh, in regard to building an environment to improve education, their education. They were fourth-year medical students at the time. And that wish list was evolved into a software environment, evolved into the development of a software environment. And when I moved here, I called it a functional prototype. Then some of the people who were working with Bill and Doug took a look at that, and they said, well, what you're calling a functional prototype is what Microsoft calls version 1.1. And Bill and a couple of other people thought that Doug would actually like that software environment. So we made an appointment with Doug. Doug took a look at it and he liked what he saw.
So
And that's how I met Doug for the first time.
Did you work directly with Doug for a significant time?
No. He took a look at the software, he took a look at the functionalities. It was a collaborative content management environment where it brought together all the components of knowledge management in one place. And it made collaboration easy. At the same time, people could build on what others had worked on.
Is there anything about Doug that you found particularly memorable?
Well, as I was telling you earlier, we all know about his vision. We know about his genius. We know about all his contributions, right? So that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, this is what I loved about Doug, that he was playful, he was kind, he was generous, at least the Doug that I know. And every time we were in the same room, after I left, I had such a great feeling.
Do you think that he was satisfied that he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish in life?
No. I think he had this vision that from his perspective, maybe at the tip of the iceberg, it was addressed, and maybe a little bit more than the tip of iceberg, it was understood.
Did you ever understand what his big vision was?
Well, you know, he had this vision, and actually somebody back there was mentioning that he had this vision and he would point his finger, and I really liked what he said. And then it would leave it to others to interpret what he was talking about. And that's what happened. A lot of people actually took what they interpreted, and then they came up with all these great ideas for tapping into collective intelligence, for collaboration, for building on other groups' works and ideas.
Did your association with Doug have any lasting effect on your own career and the way you approach your own work?
Yes. Yes. My training is in medical education and interdisciplinary studies, but working with Doug and being in contact with people who have worked with Doug inspired me to continue working in the collaboration area.
you have any additional comments or observations about Doug before we wrap?
I just loved him.